I'm not wearing hockey pads. And that's the bottom line.
And welcome everyone to episode number 5 of the 1.21 show. My name is Chris Kern, and with me as always is Claver Progel, Frank Van Meter, and Matt Kalka. What's up, guys?
Woo!
What's up, man?
All right. How's it going, everybody?
That's much better.
Well, don't
much
say
better.
that it's much better.
Oh, shit.
God damn it.
You don't know what it's not much better than.
Compared to what?
Yeah, prior times. Today's show, we got a couple things to go over. Now, the Dead show came back, and the comic came back, so we're going to talk about that.
Well, the
As
comic
always.
never went away. It just came out.
Well, came back after a month. Seemed like a year.
Touche.
Xbox has been hacked. The Elimination Chamber's coming up. We got headlines and a couple more things. Now, I got a confession to make. I'm ill prepared for this show because I went out to the casino last night. Matt, you were there.
Whoop.
Now, this is the first time that I ever went out to a casino and came out ahead by $9 in my pocket.
Woo, big money, big money.
Yeah,
I left with 5 more than I brought, so.
it's better than losing it.
Yeah, and for being there for 2 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
Breaking even is always good, kids.
But
Just saying that.
it was fun. Like the games that we tried to play Godfather because we always seemed to win on Godfather, but we couldn't. We got there, the place was fucking packed. Which brings me to this. I hate when you're walking down like an aisle or a small place. Imagine the casino, and people are walking in front of you, and they just stop and turn and look at something or start talking to people. And then you go up to them and say, "Hey, excuse me, trying to get," and they look at you like you're bothering them to get by.
Yeah, and usually before they stop, they're going fucking so slow that you just want to push them over.
Yeah.
Now, is it everybody or just like old people?
It's mostly everybody.
It's mostly
from what
everybody.
I found.
There were
It's
plenty of
usually
old
everybody.
people.
It's like, just get the fuck
So,
out of my
let's just
way.
put this out there. If you're going to go to Maryland Live Casino, go on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah,
Don't
there's
stop in the
Saturday
middle of the
nights.
aisles.
Yeah, you couldn't get anywhere. But we won big
There was
on
a
that
couple of
Kodiak
us,
Bears
and we
game.
couldn't. Yeah, I was the Kodiak King. That's what I'm trying to
Headlines.
This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed.
A kid saves the world, and the school disapproves.
It's ridiculous.
Apparently, this kid walks around. What do you have? A fake grenade?
That
That he had?
he was playing a game. He was playing a game on school, and he called the game "Rescue the World," and so he was saving the world with an imaginary grenade. So he got suspended for it.
Well, was he trained to use this grenade?
I don't know how much training. I don't know how much training needs to go in for an imaginary freaking grenade, though.
Well, his
I mean,
parents should know.
Maybe
Imagination in the wrong hands. So, like, who did a teacher figure this out? Like, come outside and
No.
saw this kid playing?
It's the superintendent of the school. He doesn't. They say that they don't have a policy against imaginary weapons, but every school is
I wonder
allowed to
why.
enhance
Can you imagine
the
a bunch of people
students'
sitting
code
around
of
writing the rules of
conduct.
how to use your imagination?
Yeah.
No, you can't
Kids,
have that
stop using your
AK-47.
imagination. It's against the rules.
Yeah, excessive imagination.
Yeah. How many clips? How many bullets are in that magazine?
I don't know, sir. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, it's. I can't even fathom this. I couldn't imagine actually the parent being told, "Hey, yeah, your kid's got suspended for holding an imaginary grenade."
Can you please rush down here?
Yeah. It's like, what do you say
He
to
took
that?
the pin out already.
Did you pull the pin already? Shit.
I don't know, sir. I haven't thought about it.
Ugh.
World's becoming a shitty, shitty place. Little by little.
A lot
with
by a lot,
imaginary
a lot by
weapons
a lot.
too. What do we got next?
There was that big-ass meteor that hit down in Russia. Crashed into a mountain, and last I heard it injured like 1,100 people.
Yeah.
I don't think
Have
it
you
actually
seen the videos
hit.
of that?
I've seen the fucking videos.
That is ridiculous.
I wouldn't know what to do if I'm driving down the road and I saw that thing coming. It's just past me.
Now, I didn't think
Everybody
it
just
actually
kept
hit
driving.
the ground.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it broke
it was
up in the
normal.
atmosphere.
Nobody was screaming. Nobody was fussing. They were just videotaping this huge fireball coming
Because
down.
Russia's
from the
a
sky.
bunch of fucking badasses. You get that shit in America, we've been crying like a bunch of little bitches. Siberia.
We also had that asteroid that freaking passes by like, what, 15 minutes?
Metroid.
Metroid.
Samus had something to do with this.
It was a she.
Ah,
You name them like you name your boat.
Samus.
I don't think
15
it's
minutes?
that it didn't miss us. They just called Bruce Willis in on the project.
He was riding it in. He had a cowboy hat on,
Yes.
riding on the back of it with a drill.
Guy, motherfucker.
Now, I read somewhere that 1/12 of 1% of the U.S.'s budget goes towards looking for close space objects, which I don't even know what that number would be in dollar amounts.
But
But-
yet our jails are full to the T with people that have done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
All the money that gets put into that shit, and the real threat is crashing down from the skies.
Yeah, Bruce Willis riding comets.
Was his son involved? They're together now, aren't they?
They're teaming up. His son was riding the asteroid. He was the distraction.
He was on the ground.
Yeah. What the hell's Bruce Willis's kid doing?
And then here comes Bruce. That's why nobody
Bastards.
cared.
Bastards. But they were looking the whole time. They were watching some other asteroid go by that they thought was. They were like, it's close, but it's not close enough to hit us. But we're gonna watch it anyway. Meanwhile, backdoor. What's our production budget? 1/12 of 1%.
It seems like it.
We don't have any budget.
Yeah, obviously not.
This show has no budget.
All right. All right. So coming back to it, Frank, this is you brought this up and you seem rather excited about it. So why don't you
His
tell the
dreams
kids?
have come true.
We got a dildo,
Tell the
a
kids.
double-headed dildo that is also a USB drive, 16 gigs
Oh, you
of
can
storage space.
you can get 16 or 8.
Storage space.
I ran into the story on Gizmodo, and it was hilarious. It's called the Duet Vibrator, and you use the USB stick to charge it or to store up to 16 gigs of port on it.
Only
That
point.
means you can load it up with your favorite films, like Teens Take 12 Hard
Teens
Inches
Take-
2,
I always like Vienna Vagina 7.
Black Diamonds Bone Hard 8 has always been
That was a
favorite.
great one.
So,
That was a
but
great
you can
one.
load it up with that and take it with you. Say you want to get down at the beach, by the pool, maybe in Walmart.
Whip out your double-headed dildo,
Whip
plug
it out,
it in.
dude. Plug it into your cigarette lighter, and just go to town.
Now here, if it's a double-headed dildo,
Do you need a friend?
yeah, we picture two lovely ladies using this double-headed dildo. Do they share the storage space, or does it just belong to one of them?
Well, I'm sure with 16 gigs, you could 8 and 8.
8 and 8 it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're used to anyway.
I gotta take the dildo to work today. No, I gotta take it to work today.
Hopefully they work together if they're both investing in this dildo. Now, when I load up, I know maybe they're both fans of Belgian Butt Babe 7. We don't know.
Let's go down to Poop on My Feet.
The lovely is that the one where lovely babes try to put on shoes and rub their pretty petite feet on the meat?
It is. The fetish just makes them try harder.
That is one big pile of shit.
No, Poop on My Feet 3 is a big pile of shit.
I wonder what 1 and 2 were like.
1 and 2 must have done good if they got a 3. So, they're a porn star.
This is gone.
A porn star has paid enough money to get shot into space.
Yep. Coco Brown.
First it was monkeys, and then it was people, and
What
now
was her
we're seeing
name?
porn stars.
Coco Brown. She was the star of Big Booty Bomb 2.
Yeah, the history books are going to show that Coco Brown is the first porn star in space, which is completely.
I don't
I'd
think they're
totally
gonna
believe
put that
if
in
I
a
read
history book.
Why
She paid
wouldn't they?
$100,000 to be part of that Space XC mission that's going up in 2014 or next year.
I'm a part of that.
I kind of want to see what Coco Brown looks like.
I'm looking at the picture right now. You don't want to see it.
So that's a title I should take off the list.
Yeah. Big Booty
All right.
Bomb 2. Erase it.
I'll take it
Is
off.
she in Poop on My Feet 3?
I don't know. I haven't seen 3.
I'm still trying to get through 1.
So wait, Matt, you said that you're already on this mission?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
And
prepaid.
you're trying to get me to buy you Comic-Con tickets?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's because you spent all your money just for this mission. Oh, okay.
You can't afford both.
Exactly. You know how much that space exploration mission costs?
Yeah, $100,000. I'm looking at it right now.
Right. When it's not really bad when you think about it. They just put it on my tab.
You grabbing a seat next to Coco Brown?
Oh, I hope. Who do I want to sit next to? Trump?
No.
You're gonna make Big Booty
Give me
Bomb
Coco
3?
Brown. She'll have the stories.
That's gonna be
like
no
that.
one's gonna be talking to each other on that flight.
I will.
Coco
After
Brown
the initial,
Yeah, when you
Donald
get up
Trump.
there and you're just floating around.
fucking Stephen Hawking.
after the initial, like, oh my god, we're fucking stuck in our seats. As soon as we get up there and we're floating, I'm floating right over to Coco Lane or whatever.
Just imagine you floating over this big
Sir,
porn star.
fasten your seat, please.
Hey, Coco. She's like, please don't talk to me. I'm in the middle of something.
You can't leave, Coco. We're in space. We're stuck.
You're going to trap Coco Brown in a corner of a space shuttle just to talk to him.
Wait, Coco, outside?
I'm not talking to Trump. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
She may be, using that dual-headed vibrator.
Well, I'm not a fan of that, and I'm not using it with her.
She's gonna smack you in the face if you come floating over too with that look on your face. Hey, Coco.
Break your USB drive, Coco.
What do you have on there?
And you guys say that $100,000 is too much money. Listen to what it's going to happen. This is well worth it.
That's well worth it over a Comic-Con ticket.
But if you can assure me that I'm gonna be able to float around with Donald Trump and Coco Brown, then I'll pay for that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, Walking Dead's back.
Walking Dead is back, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, the show came back on after the mid-season break, and the comics' new issue came out after a month that seemed like a year.
Let's go with the negative real quick. The comic is
A bit of a letdown.
yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was definitely, like they pulled the wool over our eyes. Like there was a little bit of a cliffhanger on 106, and then this is just kind of, it starts off and everything's okay, aside from the headbutt from Rick to Negan.
So I didn't read the comic, but what was the,
I
what
appreciate
was the
the follow
cliffhanger?
up on that.
The with the comic, when it came, it seemed like everything that was covered in all the pages could have been covered in half of it and given something else. They spent a lot of time letting us know that Carl wasn't hurt.
It's almost like that's the thing with comics, though. Like, they can stretch that out to a whole issue and just make us wait again. Like, why not? You know what I mean? They have an endless amount of...
Yeah, but when you leave off with
Time.
something like that,
Yeah.
because I remember when I hit the last page on the 106, I almost crumpled that shit up. I was so anxious to know. And the next issue came out. Within a couple pages, we found there was a resolution to that, and then it was just kind of development. And I know we don't bitch about it, but we say that's good on the show. We had a whole season of development.
Right.
But I don't know. Like you said, Clay, the wool was pulled over.
It just seemed, like it seemed like it was going one way at the end of the last issue, and then this just kind of took a left turn somewhere. I like at the end, towards the middle and the end, I was just kind of like reading it really fast, trying to get to the end of it, and then now we're left with wondering who is it? What was the name that they said you have to meet? Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
So now we gotta wonder who that is.
Yeah, I did like that at the end of this one. That's a big something to look at.
I guess that's someone at the hilltop where Jesus is from, Jesus or whatever.
Yeah. No,
Jesus.
I expect when at the end of 106, going into I fully expected Carl to walk out with Negan's balls tattooed on his forehead or something. Something that would, his other eye was blown out. Ray Charles.
That'll bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the other issue, in the last issue, he says, "Wait till you see what I did with your son" or something.
Yeah, I can't wait. For you
this one, it's like, oh, well, I did nothing to your son.
Didn't do anything.
That's literally what he says.
I might have
back.
thought about it.
Whatever.
No.
It was still good though. It wasn't bad, but
No, not at
just
all.
more.
Never
more
bad.
storytelling.
So how about that show that came back on?
Yeah, the show's back on. Some people, we all loved it. Some people were bitching about it being they're like uneventful. I guess there's not enough going on in the episode.
Fuck
Which
that.
I say, yeah, fuck that. I mean, you got Merle and Daryl together, talking for the first time in the show ever. That's like pretty big in my eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is true. They didn't even see each other in the beginning.
Yeah, they didn't. And we were left in, what was it, December, when they were tied up just looking at each other.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say that same thing to me.
No,
This week was just very uneventful. It was a letdown for the comeback.
A couple of people said that to me at work, and I told them, imagine if there was no 2-month break. If this was just the next episode after episode 8,
Right.
that would be totally fine with them. They even said that, like, yeah, I'd be fine with that. But it's because there was no Dead for 2 months, and then they get this episode that was just another episode, and they're crying because there was no death, no action, whatever. It just doesn't make sense.
But that's the thing, like, do people understand how, like,
A
TV
story
series works and, like, not even a story, like, the series itself. Like, you can't come back in with all you can't have an action-packed episode like that every single show. You have to have some kind of story, or we're not going to give two fucking shits about these characters.
Well, yeah, it's
Well,
like
yeah,
what's
there's
going on
not-
in the past.
there won't be
Character
Stop.
development.
Great. Who gives a fuck about Russ? Who the fuck's Russ? It's exactly what we would be saying. It doesn't matter, but it's almost like they wanted this to just be the season finale. Started off with that and end with some stupid story to leave
Yeah.
us waiting for next year.
It's just building towards the showdown at the prison, the big finale.
Right.
Like, you have to start it somewhere.
Exactly. You have to come back. You have to start to show the governor just, like, snapping.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, believe me, if they play out the ending to this season the way it should go down, like the way it did in the comic book, it'll be well worth the wait for any fan of the show to go through a couple non-action shows.
Right.
The climax of this story is well worth the wait for it. Now, one thing that's been bothering me this entire season, and luckily there's enough great stuff around it to make it not, a drag for me, but Andrea's storyline. Her character in the show is very different from her character in the book. Her personality, how she, goes about her day or whatnot. But the naive sense that she has towards the governor and what he's doing is just, at this point, it's getting very hard to believe that someone could be that blind, especially coming from what she came from with the group. You'd think to be on the lookout for anything, anybody.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
just turning a blind eye to everything.
Yeah, she caught the dick, and now she doesn't want to see the bad
Like-
shit going down.
Go back to season 8, at the end, after the big Michonne and governor fight. Like, I watched that last week, leading into the new episode. And, I'm sitting there, me and a couple of people are watching it, and you have the governor with a piece of glass broke off in his eye. He's crying, and there's a bunch of zombie heads on the floor biting around him. And then you got his dead daughter with a fucking sword wound through her head. I was like, that is one place I wouldn't want to be right now.
Yeah.
And Andrea's just standing there. And then the day after, she's still there, and the day after, and it doesn't make sense.
And she's
Why
still
would you
trying
stay?
to, like, talk to him and be like,
Yeah, why did you come out and shoot that guy in the head that was bit? It's like, why didn't you?
Yeah.
I guess because it was in front of people, but these people know what happens in that world,
Her whole speech that she gave to the entire crowd of people seemed very hokey, very cheesy. We got to build a new world, and it's not them, it's us, and we got to make it. It just seemed very out of place. Like, after what just happened, and
yeah,
it just didn't,
completely out of place.
That feel-good moment just didn't hit off as well as I think that they had intended it to when they wrote it down. It looked better on paper than it did coming off on the show, I think.
Yeah, it's just like General Patton or something.
Exactly.
General
Come on,
Patron.
So hopefully, when she sees what's going on, my hope is that kicks her into being the Andrea that she is in the comic book.
Yeah.
The woman that's just like, give me a gun, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to shoot the shit out of them, go.
Yeah, but wait till she really sees who is behind all of it. You know what I mean?
I don't. What else is like? What is there anything else she doesn't know?
they think terrorists are breaking into their group.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the way they're looking at it. So that's why she's.
So when
getting
she
all the
realizes
protective.
that it's
When
Rick
she,
and the gang.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
When she realizes that it's the people that she survived with for so long, like, that's going to throw a rock in that plan because the governor's not going to stop. At this point, he is off the deep end. Andrea could be like, "This is my brother," and the governor would just be like, "Okay,
Yeah, don't give a shit.
don't care."
So when they were raiding like the place where where Daryl and Merle were fighting, Andrea never really got a good glimpse of them actually throwing bullets into there.
She saw pardon my name, the African American man that was with
Oscar?
them from the prison, Oscar. That's who she saw, but she doesn't know him.
Yeah, she doesn't know him.
So that's the only guy that she caught. Well, I didn't think. How did they not hit anybody? Like, they were definitely just running in the open, and no one was getting hit.
Yeah, no one saw anybody.
Well, Oscar eventually did.
Well,
but-
they saw
But Rick was hallucinating, and he didn't even get hit. He was just standing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, out throughout that whole firefight, no one got hit except for Oscar.
Yeah, with a shotgun.
Yeah, so she's never seen. She doesn't know it was Rick and them.
Now let's talk about that real quick. At the end of the episode, where they're in the prison and Rick flips the fuck out and sees the silhouette of what we can assume is Laurie.
It was Laurie. It was definitely
You
Laurie.
don't see her face. You don't see her face. Although it would have been expensive
that
as shit
looked like
to
Laurie.
fly her out for a quick
Who
while
else?
I mean,
in a
it looked
dress.
like Laurie.
I mean, I'm assuming it is. We didn't see the face. I'm
I
not
don't think
jumping
they're
to
worried
conclusions.
about money. That show's making money.
Well, if I don't, they
I'll
could,
fly the Lord
they couldn't
down.
get Shane to shave his beard.
Well,
his
that's
Wolverine hair.
contractual.
Well, she doesn't have to shave her beard. She just has to put a dress on.
She just has to be flown out. What's that?
I prefer
$300?
she shaved her beard.
It's only $300. The lower
Just-
beard.
She needs it for another role.
Well, here's what I'm saying. They're not worried about that.
So he sees her standing on the ledge. And I can see how a lot of people would look at that and go, what the fuck is this? But I thought it did a really good job of driving home the point of just how much Rick is losing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now imagine that whole thing from Tyrese and his group's perspective. You know, like Herschel's saying, "Rick, you got to wait till Rick gets back." You know, Rick,
the leader, the big man on campus.
our leader's coming back, and you got to talk to him. And he comes in just, woo-hoo!
Yeah.
And he's standing there screaming out a window.
It would have been exactly what they did, and they just were like grabbing their shit, going, "We're out. We're getting out of here. Don't worry about it. We're going.
We'll be at the other prison."
Yep,
Yeah.
we're leaving. It's cool, dude. We don't need to stay here."
I saw a hotel
That's
down
exactly
the street.
what would
We'll-
happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go to Hotel 6. Screw that. We're out.
Oh, those streets, they're fine. I'll deal with the zombies rather than your crazy ass.
Yep.
Pooch.
Yeah, they're pooching. Ghost pooch. Ghost can, ghost pooch,
Oh, it's
ghost
definitely not a
phone.
ghost pooch.
No, it's a loud
That's
pooch
going to regulate. Give him hell.
regulator.
Shut the fuck up.
It worked.
Probably putting him outside.
Who won? Knockout in the 8th?
Yeah.
Good
The
deal.
mega powers came.
Good deal. Alright, Xbox is getting hacked.
That sounds like fun. They just
Well,
want to join
Xbox
the
is
ranks
always-
of the PS3.
Xbox
Getting
has always
hacked.
been hacked. They've always had hacks. But this hack especially was kind of, I wouldn't say funny because it kind of sucks for the family. But more or less it was like some kid wanted to know more about a game. So he sends a message to another guy, or another kid. The other kid was like, "No, I'm not giving you information about the game." So he hacks his Xbox, puts out like messages or something like that he's like committed murder and he's holding hostages and all that. And then in the middle of the night, that house gets raided by cops and all that. I mean, some people just take shit like that just way too far.
It's really scary looking at some of the shit that people can do now with computers and hacking.
Mm-hmm.
Gmail got hacked. A bunch of the account passwords and usernames got released. You got those rogue hacker groups, Anonymous and shit like that, are hacking the FBI and the CIA and all sorts of shit. It's amazing how I don't know, people can do that shit. You know what I mean?
It doesn't just have to. They don't just have to be good with computers. I did an interview a long time ago when I was on Gwen, the radio station, and I did an interview with Bryce Chase, and he was a former hacker that ended up like switching sides, and now he's helping out big companies. And he was saying it's not just about the people who can actually do all the stuff on the computer. It has to do with the idiots who let it happen. More or less, he's talking about, like, if I call up like a big name industry and I want to get certain information, I call them up. They're just like, oh no, we can't give you this information. So he's like, all right, not a problem. Waits till like, a couple days later, calls back again, says that he's some other bullshit company, and they give him the information he needs. Okay, well now he's got all this information, and it's because of the dumbass gave it to him. So it's not just about the people who can sit here, on the keyboard and punch numbers and all that stuff. It's also on the other end of the stick.
Well, however it works, the intricate workings of it, we're talking about it too much.
But why does he need to feel the need to take that information and do something with it?
Power?
Wouldn't it just be done?
Yeah.
Power.
Yes,
Assholes.
exactly. Everybody wants the power.
Like, with the click of a button, someone could totally fuck up your life. For no reason.
Exactly.
And
Why do they hate me? Why me?
Why?
Why me?
And this one was over a stupid freaking, Xbox game.
Exactly. It means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he called his mom a whore. I mean, that deserves hacking.
Yeah, more than not, And here's the better question. If I know enough to hack your shit, right? If I can get a SWAT team to show up at your house at 4 a.m. via your Xbox, I'm pretty fucking sure I'm capable of looking up information about that game
Mm-hmm.
and not harassing some kid for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like
It's very true.
it's like dropping tens out of your pocket while you're shaking down kids for lunch money. You know what I mean?
Now with the with the new systems coming out, how they're saying that it has to be online. The only way they'll work is online. Are they going to do anything about that? I mean,
I don't think they can. To be honest with you.
yeah.
Every time they come out with something new to protect you from this or that, I mean, people are working on that shit right away.
Because you want to be the first one to hack into that shit.
Yeah, you get credibility for that kind of shit. So I don't think anything that they can do, literally short of getting rid of online, is going to help.
Well, here's my thing. My PS3 information was hacked or whatever back in the day. Well, nothing ever happened with it. I didn't get my shit stolen, and they gave me a bunch of free games for it, so I'll take it.
One of the lucky ones.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure someone did get their shit stolen and fucked with, and that sucks for them, but I just got free games out of it.
It's a big
And
scam.
you know what I did? Like, okay, the online service was down for a couple months. You know what I did? Played my Xbox. That still worked fine. Oh, PS3 is back up? Oh, free games? Sweet.
So it's your happy ending to a otherwise terrible story.
Terrible.
So you think the family got free games?
It would make it all better.
Like, we're sorry this happened. Here's Mama's Meatballs and Bunker's Backyard Barbecue.
As long as Mama's Meatballs is involved. Maybe
Yeah, we all want Mama's meatball.
Yeah, here's a brand new copy.
it's pre-release, man. It's not even out yet. That'd be a good...
Do you know what people would do to get their hands on this game, kid?
Just forget this ever happened.
The men in black come in, wipe them. They leave, sitting on the coffee table, Mama's Meatballs.
So they don't remember why Mama's Meatballs is on their table.
Yeah, they don't know why. It's just there for them to play. And it's a good enough game for them to forget it all happened. So is that it? Xbox got hacked?
Yeah, well, it's not like Xbox got hacked. It's this kid.
Well, the kid got hacked via the Xbox.
And then it turned into a big old...
That still seems so shitty to me. An Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, how's
Exactly.
that, you know what I mean? How's that even fucking possible?
How do you call the cops from an Xbox?
Yeah. Kids. Damn it, kids.
Now, I know we probably don't want to talk about this, but the Elimination Chambers tonight.
Yeah.
And we will
Not watching.
talk about the C word. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the C word in this segment. And segment not with a C.
Let's talk about Punk and Rock too.
Punk and Rock 2. Now that I'll talk about. I don't think it's going to end with me very happy.
No, I hope Punk wins.
But for our WrestleMania's sake,
Yeah.
God damn it, let Punk win.
You
Now
know,
we've hit.
it's funny that the build for this rematch is way better than the entire year that Rock and the C Word had to build their match at last WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, I'm more interested in this.
That's because at least one of them seems like they care.
Yeah, really.
That's the kicker.
So
So
the shitty thing is, I didn't care about that at last WrestleMania, and I'm not going to care about it at this one.
That's because of the C Word that we're not talking about.
that we've talked about.
No, we're not talking about him.
We're not.
So we got after tonight. We got the next pay-per-view is Mania.
Yep.
So whoever wins tonight at that match goes on to Mania as the champ.
I think Curran put it as, what have we done? Turned into the parking lot?
Yeah, we're on. We've been on the road to WrestleMania. We've turned into the parking lot. Now we just got to find a space.
Which is
For
going to
Mania.
take another month or so.
Yeah, a month worth of looking. Not a lot of.
That's a
parking
big
lot.
parking lot, but there's a lot of people that go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually more interested in the world title picture because even though Punk is in the WWE title picture, I know what's going to happen. You know, we all know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to ignore that inevitable, and I'm going to go with the world title picture. Dolph Ziggler said the other day that he's definitely cashing in Money in the Bank before WrestleMania. So, you know, you can't predict. No, just before Mania. Maybe tonight.
I mean, you would think because the way they always do it is, whoever comes out as the champ is always beat the fuck by the end of it. So that's why they cash in and come in and pin them.
Yeah,
What
that's how
better
the first
place
one.
to be beat the fuck up at than a Elimination Chamber?
The old E-chamber.
The old E-Chamber.
Digital.
You know, throw someone off the top of that bitch and pin them.
It's that easy.
That's how I do it. That'd be my game plan.
Whatever. That match is going to be shit anyway. Probably be Jack Swagger winning that shit because he's like an American now, and
Fine.
Del Rio's not.
Fine. Let him win. Because you know what I would do when I find out that he wins? I go, oh shit.
Cash in my money in the fucking bank.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, I don't mind Swagger. You know, I know we've been a fan of his cheese ever since day one.
He's the franchise.
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 It's the franchise.
Well, he's more like Kurt Angle now with his, I quote, intensity, I'll say, and his ankle lock. But he's still the same. Same music, same cross the line up at the top of the ramp when I come down and stomp, and now he's got Dutch Mantel with him when he's someone else.
You told me that.
He's dirty.
Flipped out. Old man Mountain Rock.
Oh man, Much Mouth. What's his Zeb?
Which
something?
mountain?
Which Mountain Rock is who I heard.
Butch
That's
Mouth.
what if I ever get into wrestling and I become a manager, I'm Much Mountain. Coming down the aisle, Much.
They don't finish it.
They don't need
It's
to.
just much.
The crowd
They-
knows.
They know what mountain it is.
They're already chanting mountain.
No chanting Much.
Then they announce you as Mountain.
Much gets the pop.
Mountain
Coming down the
gets
aisle,
chant.
Mountain.
Man,
Well, the crowd's saying Much.
Much would be awesome. I'd have a T-shirt and everything.
comes out with the San Antonio Brawler.
Much in the brawler. See, that's already good.
But see, there's multiple brawlers. So you gotta say
There's
the
only
SA,
one
the
Much.
SA Brawler. There's only one Much. The SA Brawler.
So, all right, getting back to that.
Back to the wrestling.
Tomorrow night, the whole point of talking about being on the parking lot to WrestleMania, Undertaker's coming back, hopefully, to have a match. So, usually it's the night after Chamber that Taker comes out and he points his finger at someone and says, "You." That's Hogan, but Taker.
Hogan's fighting Taker.
No. Please no.
Brooke Hogan.
Not at my WrestleMania. So who's he
Oh.
going to fight if he comes back?
Mick Foley said in an interview that the only person he can see having a good match or like making the match interesting.
Carrying Taker.
Punk.
Yeah.
No, I would take Punk and Taker.
Or Brock, maybe.
Yeah, but Brock, I wouldn't believe that The Undertaker would beat.
No, we're definitely going to get Brock and H.
But I wouldn't believe that Taker could beat Brock. I think Brock would fucking wipe his ass with him.
I don't want Brock and H. I don't want it. H doesn't have any hair anymore. It's going to be weird.
I don't want H.
It was kind of like when Taker came back with no hair.
He could come out with anything. He could come out with ZZ Top and I'd be fine with it. Just H with no hair at our Mania. I just don't want it.
Every turn. It's a botch.
I met The Undertaker when I was like 12 years old, and he told me to rest in peace. And thinking about that now, is that a little creepy to tell like a 12-year-old kid?
That is a little morbid.
I hope you're fine.
Did he do like the throat slit?
He even wrote it on my autograph. He wrote, Matt, R.I.P., The Undertaker.
Well, that's official.
1984 to now.
So I'm like,
rip.
Yeah. Did you want me to die, Undertaker?
In the best way.
But I'm still here, and I'm coming to your Mania, so you better be there.
He might not be coming to our Mania, though.
He better be.
That's the whole point. We don't know if he's actually going to be there. Like
what's what I'm saying? Mania, he better be?
The first Mania, it would be our Mania, too.
Yeah, that he wouldn't be at.
That he wouldn't be at.
That would break streak. And I don't want to see...
No, he doesn't break streak.
All right, there's definitely torture going on.
Tap dancing dogs. Like, it definitely sounds like their feet are moving way too fast for them to be really running around. Yeah.
What the hell's happening?
All right, I think we're good. So, I think that's honestly all we have.
We shouldn't have gone to that damn casino.
Well, honestly, guys, hey, world, it's kind of been a slow week on news and headlines anyway, so...
You don't apologize after the show, you apologize prior.
Well, we've done that.
Did we?
Yeah, but now I'm just trying to fill space in because we're ran out of things to talk about. All right, Kern, sign us out of here.
As always, thanks for joining us for another episode of the 1.21 Show. You can join us on Twitter at 1.21 Show. And you can follow us. No, you can't follow us. You can listen to us on Gwen. It's gw-en.com. You can hear our simulcast and all their great DJs. For Matt, Clay, and Frank, this is Curran saying adios. Discipline.
Discipline?
Discipline.
Now, you know what would make Walking Dead really interesting is if, like, Carl just found, like, a big supply of coke.
Bruce Willis isn't happy with us.
Have you ever wanted to... Fuck Andrea. Frank, can you help? Get us back on control.